Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Again, the beautiful reminder for you, for me, for all of us that we get to choose. And what is it that we get to choose? We get to choose how we're going to think. We get to choose what things mean. Remember, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. And guess who gets to choose how you're thinking? You. That's right. Point to yourself like this. Me. I always have a choice. I always have a choice. It's always up to you. It's always in your hands. It's just a matter of whether or not you're aware of that power that you have in your hands. Beautiful thing is, though, is when you do engage with that power, when you use that hidden power in you, as what Thomas Troward refers to, guess what changes? The results of your life, the outcomes. Remember, your outer world, your results, how much you earn, what you do for work, all of it, all of that outer world is a reflection of what's happening in your inner world. And that's what we dive into here in these beautiful calls, is how to strengthen the thought processes in our inner world so that the outer world changes. I was just perusing through this power of awareness in chapter 11 in the chapter of interference. Neville says, "You are free to choose the concept you will accept of yourself. Therefore, you possess the power of intervention, the power which enables you to alter the course of your future. You have the power of intervention. If you don't like things as they're happening now, remember, you don't have to consent to things as they are. See, if you don't like that, you can intervene, you can change all of it by choosing a different concept of yourself." And he goes further, "The process of rising from your present concept to a higher concept of yourself is the means of all true progress. The higher concept is waiting for you to incarnate in the world of experience." Oh my gosh, it's so good. Power of Awareness, chapter 11. If you have this book, it's on page 45. But think about that. You have this power to intervene at any time in your life, no matter what time it is. And again, the way to intervene is through the power of your mind, by choosing your thoughts and by choosing thoughts that are in harmony with how you would love things to be. And that's what we've been diving into as we've been studying this incredible material. The book that we've been diving into deeply is The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. And if you don't have a copy of this, I highly recommend that you do get a copy of it. Get this exact copy if you want to read along with us. And then also make sure that you're highlighting and underlining. Yeah, don't worry about keeping it nice and neat. No, underline, take notes, engage with it, but most importantly, use it, which brings up another reminder for you, is that this knowledge, this information, this is not power. This is not going to help you with anything. Why? Because knowledge does not implement itself, does not apply itself. See, it's up to you to apply the information, and then that's when the power will come to you. But again, guess who has to do it? It's you. So use this as if your life depends on it. Now, additionally, also as well, make sure you have a goal card with you, something that you have where you've written down the ideal that you would love to be made manifest in the outer world. Now, keep in mind, though, as a reminder for you, we do not manifest what we write down on the card. We do not manifest what's on the vision board. We don't manifest affirmations. we have we deliver and manifest the emotion that's tied to it. Now that right there should be a beautiful thing for you to grab onto. And I hope that you do because that's how everything is delivered. All right, so let's go into where we are in this book and tap into this power that all of us have. Here we're on part 15. The page is 264. See, 263, 264. And here, Haanel asks a question. What determines the degree of harmony which we attain? That's a great question. Well, the answer here is our ability to appropriate what we require for our growth from each experience. That's what determines the degree of harmony that we attain. You can look at it this way. It's very simple. You grow when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And instead start asking, what is this teaching me? See, that's what determines the degree of harmony from which you attain. And by the way, make no mistake about this, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. But see, if you look at it from the phrase or from the ideal that, oh my gosh, it's happening to me, what starts to happen? You start to close. Now you're all of a sudden a victim of circumstance. And that feeling is not a good feeling to have. With this being said, when you do make that shift and understand that everything is happening for you, in other words, it's giving you experience to maneuver through life, that's when everything will change for you in a big, beautiful way. Now let's go further. What do difficulties and obstacles indicate? When you're going through something difficult, when you have an obstacle, what does that indicate? Well, it's very simple, that they are necessary for our wisdom and spiritual growth. Remember, these obstacles that you're going through, they're there for your experience. They're there to help you to grow. Now, how may these difficulties be avoided? Very simple, by a conscious understanding and cooperation with natural laws. Now, he's not talking about avoiding going through it. What he's talking about is the difficulty of going through it. You can look at it this way. Problems are our invitation to expand. Write that in your notes. My problems are my invitation to expand. And if you align with the natural laws, some of those natural laws are cause and effect, which is sowing and reaping, the perpetual transmutation of energy, polarity, relativity. Then what takes shape is a different thought form, which enables you to maneuver through things without that deep struggle, the unnecessary struggle. See, it's a change in how you're thinking that delivers that. So you can look at what's being shared here this way. Visualizing abundance and acting in faith leads to more flow. While worrying and doubting about lack only attracts more of it. Think about that. Remember, we become how we're thinking most of the time. The ideas that you are emotionally involved with is what you see, is what comes to you. But again, guess who gets to decide what that's going to be? It's you. Now, when you think of this ideal, this goal, hold your goal card, look at it. Will you be able to manifest this in your life to make it a material fact if your mind is saturated with thoughts that are not in harmony with this? Will you be able to be happy most of the time if you're constantly thinking sad thoughts? See, the principle is the same with both of those examples. The answer is no. Things are not brought into existence by thinking of their opposites. You're never ever going to be able to materialize this as a result in your life if your mind is saturated with ideas that are not in harmony with it. With that being said, you can go through this without the deep struggle by preparing your mind, by reliving it, by being emotionally involved with the idea, which then will lead to the new normal. Which leads me to another reminder for you. There's a huge difference between what's natural to you and what's normal to you. Everything that we're talking about here is about changing what's normal to you by using what's in your nature. And what's normal in you is rooted in how you've been commonly thinking. Now, before we move any further, if you've been watching this beginning section and would love to continue to join us here within this call, then go to elevitality.com and register for these calls so you can experience the whole call.